Welcome to our little introductory webinar. Okay. What we're going to do tonight is I will take you guys around the website itself. I'll show you where you can find all the little pieces on the website, how to navigate around the website. We'll cover the front page first, and then we'll go over into your course as well. And we'll talk a little bit about the course you enrolled in, and also how to best tackle the course as well. So as I'm going through, please feel free to ask any questions. If you do have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay. Are there any questions before we begin? Okay. All right. So this is our homepage here. Okay. So every time you see the obviously girl jumping up in the air, you should be at the homepage itself. As I scroll down on the right-hand side, there's a few sections which you guys can have a look at. So we have a messages section. So if you ever receive a message from someone, you should be able to see it right here. So you can just click on a little envelope next to that person's name, and that message will pop up. You can also click on messages link here. You can search for a person if you want to send a message to, and you can actually send a message to that person. So whether it's your tutor or whether it's someone else, you can actually search for a person there and send them a message as well. Then we have the calendar section, so all you have to do in the calendar here, you can just highlight and it'll tell you what the day is about. You guys probably know already how to use the calendar itself, but you can scroll between the months and see actually what events are on. Especially if you actually go through your course and go through the calendar, there should be some course-specific events like the workshops and assessment days as well. So you'll be able to find all that on the calendar itself, and all you have to do is just click on a little calendar date, and it'll tell you a little bit more information about that date. There's also an upcoming events list down here. We have a site news section, so any new news that's important obviously will be posted there, and they'll also get emailed out to you guys too. Online users are down here, so with the online users, it'll obviously show people that have logged on in the last 5 minutes, but it will also allow you to send a message to that person. So because I'm the only one logged on now, I won't be able to see a little envelope next to my name, but normally what you can see is the name and an envelope next to the name, so you can just click on the envelope and you'll be able to send a message to that person as well, just like you could through the messages section up the top. So if, yep. Yes, so not at the moment, but we're actually in the process of building that thing right now. So hopefully very soon we'll have a nice little forum set up. But most of the time, that's why we actually have designated tutors. So if you have any problems whatsoever, you can just either send a message through a tutor, through the online users, or through the messages, or you can just email them, or you can always give us a call. So, but we'll definitely also set up a little forum thing, just so maybe students can help each other out as well. Maybe get together. If exactly if you do live in the same city, maybe you can actually do some of the practical assessment tools together and whatnot. So that's definitely something that we are looking at the moment as well. So online users are here. As you go up, we have the main menu section as well. So if you haven't had a chance to already, have a good read through these PDF files here. Okay. But the main section here that we do have is Fitlink Mentor and Assessor Accreditation section. So I don't know whether you've gone through this already, but I'll just take you through that anyway. So in every course that we have, there's an actual work experience logbook that all students need to complete. Okay, so if you're in Cert 3 now, for example, there is a Cert 3 work experience logbook that you guys will have to undertake. And one of the ways to complete that is to actually definitely mentor. So you may know someone with a Cert 4 in fitness that's been registered for a few years with Fitness Australia, whether it's your brother or sister or a friend. It doesn't really matter whom, as long as they meet the minimum criteria here. Okay, so if you do know someone, they'll be able to help you out with your logbook itself. They can obviously be a mentor during those tasks that you practice in front of them, and they can just sign you off in the logbook itself. So do you guys know if anyone that can sort of help you out or may help you out? Okay. Anyone else? Adam? Okay. And Kerry? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So for someone to be approved as your mentor, the minimum requirements are obviously a Cert 4 in fitness, be registered with Fitness Australia or another national body at the moment, and have about 2 years of industry experience. So if they meet that criteria, all you have to do then is just upload the application form, which you can find at the bottom of that page, and all you have to do then is just fill out the application form and upload it, obviously at the bottom. Make sure you click send for marking as well. Once we receive it, we'll have a look and determine whether they're suitable. So if they are suitable, we'll let you know, and then you can go and practice those tasks. But if they're not, you can either try and find someone else, or there are 2 other alternative ways to complete that logbook itself. I'll speak to you guys about the logbook just in a moment, but let's just go through the rest of this page for now. So if your mentor also happens to have a Cert 4 in training and assessment as well, and more than 5 years of industry experience, they'll be also able to mark your practical assessments for you too, which means you won't be able, you won't have to come in, I guess, on one of our assessment days to get assessed or send videos through. They can just mark you in person for the actual practical assessment tools. If your mentor has only been approved as a mentor and not an assessor as well, then they'll be able to sign off on your logbook, but then you'll either have to videotape yourself, or you will have to attend one of our assessment days to complete your actual practical assessment tools. So if your mentor happens to have the extra qualifications as well, it'll probably make things just a little bit easier for you. All you have to do then is just use the same application form, but you'll also have to include a resume and a certified copy of their Cert 4 in training assessment. So if they're approved as a mentor, they'll be able to sign off on the logbook. But if they're approved as your mentor and an assessor, then they'll be able to sign off your logbook, but also mark the 4 practical assessments for you as well. Any questions at all in regards to the mentor process? No? Okay. I'll just go back. Okay, so we've covered most of the front page. I'll just talk you through our little navigation thing up here. So on the navigation, you can go through your course. I probably have a lot more links than you guys will, but you will have my courses, and it will actually show you your actual course. So most of you are enrolled in Cert 3 at the moment. Am I correct? Yep. Yep. So you obviously start off with Cert 3, and then once you finish that, you'll be enrolled in your Cert 4. So we'll go over your Cert 3 section now. So I'm just going to click on that, and it will take us through. Okay, so this is our Cert 3 homepage. Okay, so you can have your navigation section to the left-hand side as well. We have obviously the same messages and the calendar as we had on the front page, also online users as well. So as you can see now, I have Cassandra and Daniel as well. You can just click on a little envelope and you'll be able to send a message to them if you'd like. So obviously if you do see your tutor and you want to, maybe a quick little question, you can always just use the messages section if you'd like. We'll go down, and as we go through, the very first thing that we have is the work experience logbook that I spoke to you about just before. So there are a few ways to complete the logbook. You can either go through the mentor, which a lot of our students do. You can attend our actual practical workshops that we hold every several months in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne this year. And the last option is also videoing yourself. So if you can't find a mentor at all, if you can't attend any of the workshops, then you can set up a little camera on the side, practice those tasks in front of the camera, and you can just send those through to your actual tutor at Fitlink, and they can act as your mentor and they can sign you up on the logbook as well. So there's a few different ways. You can also mix and match. So if you want to do a mentor, but you also want to attend one of our workshops, you're more than welcome to as well. If you can't find a mentor, but you want to attend one workshop and do the rest through videos, you can also do that as well. So they're all in the actual calendar. So if you go up, yeah, so if you go up, all the workshops can be found in the calendar. So we just had 3 workshops this past weekend. So the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. Yeah, yeah. So the red squares are the course-specific events. Okay, so all the green ones are available site-wide, which is obviously all the introductory webinars and assessment days, whereas the red ones are the course-specific dates. So it'll most likely be just the workshops themselves. Not really. I mean, we sometimes have very sort of fresh students attend the workshops as well. So obviously it'd be good to go through some theory beforehand, just to sort of what to sort of expect. But no real sort of theory is required per se. If you're nice and fresh, you can still attend. We go through all the practical elements of the Cert 3 during those 3 days. So it'll definitely be worthwhile. So whether you do it at the beginning or if you wait a couple of months and maybe try and get through some of the theory, try and do a bit of reading, obviously to make things just a little bit easier for you. Okay. Not necessarily. I mean, we do encourage if you do want to bring your resource manual, especially for exercise science one, you can. But it's not really necessary. We do provide, I guess, most of the paperwork that's required during those days. So you just have to come in with maybe pen and paper and some comfortable clothing and a water bottle, because there'll be quite a lot of exercise throughout those 2 days. So yeah, you don't really need too much. So you'll be able to have a look and see when the next workshops are on. The next workshops, I'm pretty sure they're in about 2 months' time, in Brisbane anyway. I think there are ones in Sydney coming up next month or the month after, and Melbourne as well. So they sort of keep rotating as well. So if you definitely want to attend, you can. If you're happy just doing those tasks with your mentor, you're more than welcome to as well. Okay, so I'll go down. So the work experience logbook is there. The main thing you have to pay attention to with the logbook itself is that each one of the tasks is signed off at least 3 times. Okay, so whether you do it through a mentor or if you do it through the workshops, or if you do it actually videotaping yourself, it doesn't really matter which way you do it. Just make sure that each one of the tasks is signed off at least 3 times. There are also no time frames in regards to the logbook as well. You can submit it whenever you like. We obviously need to see it uploaded before we can issue you with your certificate. So if that's in 2 months' time or if that's in 12 months' time, it's totally up to you. So the logbook is separate to the actual assessment tools themselves. So the assessment tools, if your mentor has not been approved as an assessor, then you'll definitely have to upload it, or you'll have to attend one of our assessment days, so you can get marked up in person. But with the logbook itself, if you do have to get a mentor and they've been approved, they can just sign you off on the logbook, and you just have to upload the logbook itself. Okay. Any other questions regards to the logbook? No? Okay. Then we go into the actual course itself. Okay, so the first module we have is Exercise Science 1. So have the competencies up the top, then you have your learning objectives here, and then we go into some links or some activities for that specific module. So we have a study plan, so every module should have a study plan. We'll just roughly outline the order that you should take in completing that module, and roughly how many hours it may take you. After that, we have the resource manual, so obviously all of your course content is within the resource manual. There will be some chapters that may have some self-assessment questions as well, and you can find the answers to those right underneath the audio files. Then we have health screening fitness testing videos for this one here, for example, so it'll just demonstrate how to complete some health screening and fitness tests, which will be very useful for your assessment tool too. So the rest, underneath the audio, the videos, we have the assessment tools themselves. So assessment tools 1 through to 4. With the assessment tools, you can pretty much do them whenever you like. You know, if you want to skip exercise science 1 for now and move over to nutrition, you can. You know, there really is no set way in which you complete your course, but obviously we have set out the course in a way that we think that you should sort of follow it. So my suggestion will be to definitely start off with exercise science 1, at least the resource manual. Try and go through the resource manual, try and do a bit of reading, and then maybe attempt the multiple choice exam. Okay. Whatever you do after that, it's totally up to you. If you want to complete the rest of the assessment tools here, you're more than welcome to. If you want to move over to nutrition 1 as well, you're more than welcome to as well. So it's really up to you, and it's quite flexible. So whichever way you want to do it is fine, but definitely go through the exercise science 1 resource manual first. So the rest of the assessment tools are there. We have one exam, so all exams are multiple choice, and you can do those whenever you like. For exercise science 1 and nutrition, you only need about 75% to pass. In gym instruction, there is a multiple choice exam, but you need to get 100% for that, but you can do it as many times as you need to. So that should be pretty straightforward, I hope. The assessment tool 2 in exercise science is a practical assessment. Okay, so most of our students tend to leave that for just a little bit later on until you're nice and comfortable in actually completing those tasks. So if you want to do the resource manual and exam now, and if you want to leave assessment tools 2 and 3 and 4 until maybe a little bit later on down the track, until you are a little bit more comfortable in completing that, you're more than welcome to. So you can do the resource manual and the exam, and then move down to nutrition. You can do the exam there, then go down to gym instruction, for example, go through obviously the study plan, the resource manual, go through these assessment tools here, and then you can come back and complete assessment tools 2, 3, and 4. If you want to do it some other way, you're more than welcome to as well. So most of the assessment tools are standalone. You can do them whenever you like, but keep in mind that there's some assessment tools that need to be completed before others. For example, assessment tool 2 here really needs to be done before assessment tool 3 because you need the results from the fitness testing so you can do the interpretation of those results in assessment tool 3. But you know, you can go through, if you want to skip those, you can go through nutrition, do the exam whenever you like, and so forth. So to complete an assessment tool, you can just click on any one of these assessment tools. So I've clicked on assessment tool 2, health screening and fitness testing here, for example. Make sure you have a really good read and see exactly what's required. So for here, we need to complete a health screening interview, blood pressure, skin flow measurements, range of motion, submaximal cardiovascular test, and an estimated 1RM strength test. Okay, so go through that, make sure you're aware of exactly what you need to do. We also have the marking criteria for each one of these assessment tools. So it's very important that you familiarize yourself with the marking criteria for the specific assessment tool. It'll actually outline exactly what you need to do, and that's what we mark you from. Okay, so there's sort of nothing hidden. We actually mark you from that marking criteria. So make sure that you are aware exactly what you need to do. So an easy way to do that is obviously try and go through the marking criteria and just make sure that you fully understand what we are assessing you on. Okay, so for this one, as this is a practical assessment tool, once you say film yourself, okay, so once you film yourself, you can save that video to your computer and you can upload it at the bottom of that page. If the video is larger than 50 megabytes, you can either try and compress it down just a little bit lower so you can fit, but if you can't fit, you can always put it onto a CD and you can mail it to us. The theory assessment tools are pretty much the same. So if I click on assessment tool 3 here, and you guys have probably already know how to upload assessment tools since you've passed your student induction, but I'll just show you anyway. So the theory assessment tools are pretty much the same. So have a read and see what's required. This one here has a template. All you have to do is just answer a few questions. And once you fill that out, you can just upload it at the bottom of this page. So make sure that every time you upload an assessment tool and you're happy with it, make sure that you click send for marking, as that'll actually send us an email to say that your submission is final and to actually assess it for you. So that may work. Like, for example, if you end up videotaping yourself for the logbook, and if you just want to send a video through to your actual tutor so they can be your mentor, that may work in that case. But in terms of the actual assessment tool itself, as we need to retain a copy of the assessment tool, yeah, so it may be easier to either try and upload it or try and put it onto a DVD or a USB and sort of send it to us. If it's put on YouTube, that could always sort of go down. I'm pretty sure it's about 5 or 7 years that we need to keep these assessment tools for. So, all right. Then we have Nutrition 1. Okay, so after Exercise Science 1, we have Nutrition 1 module. This one just has a multiple choice exam. So you can do that at any stage. Gym instruction is next. So we have the familiar outline here. We have the competencies, the learning objectives, study plan, resource manual. This one has a few activities, and then we have the assessment tools themselves. Okay, so here we have two practical assessment tools. So we have demonstration of exercises and cleaning and maintenance. They won't take you very long to do at all. Assessment tool 1, you only really have to demonstrate about 11 different exercises, and cleaning and maintenance may take you 5 or 10 minutes. You basically just have to go around the gym and perform some cleaning and maintenance on some machines. So they won't take you too long. The rest of the assessment tools are theory, and we have one exam, which I spoke to you about before, so assessment tool 2. Gym instruction. Then we have special populations awareness. Okay, so competency, learning objectives. We have a study plan, resource manual. This one has an extra health screening video as well, and then we have the assessment tools there. As we go down, recreational programming is next. So sort of like group exercise type module. So we have a study plan, resource manual. This one has an extra PowerPoint presentation too, and then we have the 5 assessment tools. So what you need to do for here is you have to pick some sort of a program that you want to hold in assessment tool 1. So try and think something that you sort of are familiar with. For example, we have quite a lot of Zumba students, so they sort of pick a Zumba class, but you can do a self-defense class if you want to. You can do a sort of a boot camp style class down at the park. It really depends what you want to do. So try and pick something nice and easy, but you also have to keep in mind that in assessment tool 3, you actually have to conduct a 30-minute session for whatever actual program that you picked in assessment tool 1. So don't pick something that you really can't do. So try and pick something nice and easy that's fairly manageable for assessment tool 3. Okay, so whether it's a little group exercise, class at a gym, maybe some circuit style training, it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as you're sort of nice and comfortable with it. So in assessment tool 1, you'll do some planning, do a bit of research, try and come up with the actual program, see what you can do. In assessment tool 2, you'll actually develop 3 different sessions, and then in assessment tool 3, you'll just pick one of those sessions and actually conduct it for about half an hour. So all you need to do is maybe ask maybe 3 or 4 of your friends to be your subjects. You can set up a video camera on the side, and you can just do that half an hour session with them, and all you have to do then is just either upload that video or send it in to us via post. So assessment tools 4 and 5 are next, and it just sort of revolves around some evaluations from both yourself and your clients as well. After that, the very last module is general workplace skills. So this is a nice big module. You have quite a lot of assessment tools there, but they're all theory, and you can pretty much do those whenever you like. There is also a recognition of prior learning file down here. So if you do have quite a lot of work experience, and if you do think that you complete most of these during your day-to-day work, then you're more than welcome to try and submit a few documents. If you go through the recognition of prior learning PDF file here, it actually explains the actual process, and what you need to submit. So once you submit that, we'll have a look, and hopefully we can get you some RPL. If not, you're more than welcome to just complete these 6 assessment tools here. Yep. Yep. Right, so for each module, obviously the resource manual is where you'll find all of your course content. So most of the time, you'll be able to find all of the information required for all the assessment tools there. Other times you may need to either get in touch with your tutor. So my suggestion would be, if you can't find anything in a resource manual, definitely try and get in touch with your tutor before you actually go. Maybe try and look for some stuff online. So if you're not quite sure, go through the resource manual. But if you can't find anything, definitely get in touch with your tutor, and they'll be able to help you out. That's why they're there. So yeah. So most of the course content should be pretty straightforward, and you should be able to complete the assessment tools from it. But sometimes some students have a bit of trouble trying to find some information that they need for the assessment tool itself. So definitely try and get in touch with the tutor first. Sometimes it may be easier to go through maybe YouTube or something like that to see some videos on some topics. You can do that too, but like I said before, definitely try and get in touch with the tutor first. Okay, so the very last module was general workplace skills. Okay, so that pretty much covers the actual course itself. My advice would be to definitely start off with Exercise Science 1, go through the resource manual, maybe even try and do the multiple choice exam. Whatever you do after that, it's really up to you. You can move down to Nutrition 1, do some gym instruction, go through special props. You can always come back to Exercise Science 1 and do the assessment tools 2, 3, and 4. Beside each one of these assessment tools, there'll be a little tick as well. So as you go through, you'll be able to sort of track and to see how far you've gone through your course. Okay, you can always go up to the page, and under your course completion status, it'll actually let you know how many activities you've completed. I believe there's about 29 total activities that you need to complete for certificate 3. Okay, so you'll be able to tell and sort of track to see how far you've gone. Once you think that you actually completed your course, there's a little self-completion section here. You can just go on that, and it'll just ask you whether you think you actually completed the course. Once you tick yes, that'll send us an email to say that Adam Gill, for example, thinks that they've actually completed their course, and then we'll just go in and have a look. And if you are, we'll issue you with your certificates. But if not, we'll also ask you to do some extra paperwork or whatever else needs to be done. Yep. Yes, I was just about to speak to you about first aid. So to complete your actual certificate, there are only really 3 things which we need from you. Okay, so the first thing is obviously the work experience logbook. So you can do that at any stage. You can submit it tomorrow if you like. If it's all done, you can wait 12 months. It's really up to you. But we just need to see it uploaded before we can issue you with your certificate. So one of the things that we need is the work experience logbook, signed off at least 3 times. Okay. All of your assessment tools also. So your second thing, all of your assessment tools nice and satisfactory as well. Okay. So you can go up. If you go up to the top of the page under settings, you'll be able to find your grades. Okay. So if you click on grades, it'll actually outline all of your assessment tools in one place, and it'll actually obviously tell you which ones you've completed and the other assessment tools that you need to complete as well. So definitely a very good place to go back to see how far you've gone, but also that completion tracking as well will be able to tell you how far you've gone through your course. So logbook completed, all the assessment tools completed, and the very last thing we have is the first aid certificate. Okay, so this time we don't actually deliver ourselves, so you can obtain it whenever you like and with whomever you like, as long as it's the actual first aid competency. So if you want to go and actually do it with St. John's Ambulance, you're more than welcome to. If you know of some other provider, you can do that as well. And it also depends on the time. So some may take a day or 2, others may take just half a day. So it's really up to you who you go with, as long as it's the actual normal apply first aid certificate that obviously contains the perform CPR component as well. So once you obtain that certificate, whether it's tomorrow or in 12 months' time, you can just upload it at the bottom of that section. Okay, so once you guys have uploaded the first aid certificate, once all of the assessment tools are actually nice and competent, and once that logbook has been either uploaded onto the website or mailed in to us, then obviously we will issue you with your certificate. So in this case, certificate 3 in fitness, and then we'll also open up Cert 4 section for you as well. Okay. Any questions? Does that make just a little more sense now? Yeah. So just remember, only really 3 things which you need to complete. So your logbook, you can do that at any stage. If you want to do it over a week, you can. If you want to space it out over 6 months, 12 months, it doesn't really matter. We just need to see it uploaded before we can issue with that certificate. Also remember that you do have 1 year per certificate to complete your course. So if you enroll in Cert 3 and 4, for example, you have in total 2 years to complete your courses. So don't leave it till the very last minute. My advice will be to definitely try and go through your Cert 3 nice and early, so you have plenty of time left for your Cert 4. So I'll just ask you guys some questions. So Adam, what are your plans for the next couple of weeks in terms of your course? Yeah, in terms of the actual study, do you have any sort of plans in place for your course? Yep. 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 Perfect. What about you, Catherine? Yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. Exercise science or yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. 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 Okay. Yep. Okay. That's fine. And what about you, Karen? Yep. Yeah, so just have a little read. Don't have to do any assessment tools just yet, as long as you get a nice good grasp of the resource manual, the website itself as well, and then whenever you're ready, you can just start. You can actually complete those assessment tools. You guys can even just start off with all theory ones for now, if you like, and leave the actual prac till the very end. It's really up to you, whichever way you want to go through your course. My advice for someone that has never actually done any of this before, definitely go through the exercise science one first. The actual exercise science one resource manual may go probably into a little bit more depth than actually what's required for the assessment tools themselves. But it's still sort of a good read. So try and go through, try and obviously memorize, some muscles and bones and whatever else. And whatever you do after that, it's really up to you. So you can even go through the multiple choice exam, especially for you, Catherine. You can even try to do your exam now if you like, if you sort of can remember some of the stuff from TAFE. If not, you guys get about 3 attempts per each one of those multiple choice exams. So yeah, exactly, yeah. And I believe it also gives you the answers as well at the end. So there's really no reason why you can't pass on the second attempt if you fail the first attempt. So yep. Yeah. If you want to do it again, you're more than welcome to. You can do it as many times as you need to. especially gym instruction. No. So especially gym instruction, that one you can do as many times as you need to, obviously to pass, as you need 100%. But the other ones, so you only need about 75%, but you only have 3 times that you can actually do it. So most of our students tend to pass on the first, if not the second attempt. So you shouldn't be too bad. Okay. So any other questions at all, guys, in regards to the course itself, or maybe where to go from now, or how to go about actually completing some of these assessment tools? Yep. Anyone else? Not. There isn't a massive difference. We were actually found that a lot of our students that do the Cert 3 with us actually breeze through the Cert 4, just because obviously you guys got used to the way the assessment tools are done, and it's a very easy transition into Cert 4. So I think it's sort of on par in terms of how much you need to do. There's probably just a little bit more tasks that you need to do for the logbook in Cert 4. But in terms of the actual assessment tools, there may be just slightly a few more assessment tools, but it's pretty much similar. Obviously, you'll be covering somewhat of a different content, but yeah, we've just found that our students actually tend to find the Cert 4 after they've done the Cert 3 just a little bit easier. All right, so I wish you guys the very best in the course. I'll obviously probably be speaking to some of you at a later stage. I probably will be marking some of your assessments as well. I normally mark Cert 4 and diploma assessments, but hopefully, I'll mark some of your Cert 3 assessments as well, and hopefully some Cert 4 assessments as you move into the Cert 4. So my advice would be not to leave it to the very last minute. We have quite a lot of students that spend 11 months not doing anything, and all of a sudden they need to do their course in 1 month. So definitely try to sort of space it out if you can. Well, unless you just want to do a massive big block and try and get through your course as quickly as you can do that too. But there are about maybe 25, 26 assessment tools there that'll, on average, over 12 months, that's about 1 assessment tool completed every 2 weeks. Okay, so if you are completing your assessment tools a little bit less frequently than that, then obviously 12 months probably not enough time. So, yep. Yep. Exactly. Yes. So if you complete your Cert 3 in 6 months, then you've got 18 months left for your Cert 4. But conversely, if you do your Cert 3 in 18 months, then you only have 6 months to complete your Cert 4. So don't be one of those students. Definitely try and complete your Cert 3 nice and quickly. Whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months. Definitely try and do it nice and quickly, so you have, I guess, plenty of time to do your Cert 4. You probably don't need, more than 6 months to complete your Cert 4 either, but definitely you want to leave yourself a bit of a gap. All right, so I wish you guys the very best. Are there any last questions at all before we go? All right, awesome. So lovely to speak to you guys and meet you all. I'll be online pretty much 9 to 5 most days. So if you do want to have a little chat, or if you want to say hi, by all means. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.